Hello, my name is Michael Rutter, and I'm an assistant professor of statistics at Penn State Erie, the Barron College. Today I'm going to show you how to use the brown bullhead tumor database, how to log in and register your account, and use the simple query to get some basic results from the database. To get to the database, all you need to do is log into your favorite browser, and in the URL bar type in bullheadtumordatabase.com, and that will take you directly to the database. Now, before I show you how to log in, I want to show you how you can get some additional information about the database. On every page there is an About button, and if you click on the About button, this window will pop up which will show you some basic information about what we offer on the database, including some important documents. One about looking at how the sampling techniques were done for the Presque Isle Bay data set, and then how the microscopic lab work was done for the fish in the Presque Isle Bay data set. Also at the bottom you will find a document called databasenames.doc, which will give you additional information about the variable names in the database, as well as my email address where you can contact me if you have any questions. It's mar36@psu.edu. The other important place for information is the official blog, which can be found at blog.bullheadtumordatabase.com, or you can get to it from clicking on the link from the welcome screen. This blog has a lot of information on it. Basically what it allows for, anytime there are updates, it'll appear on the blog. The training video, like the one you're watching now, will appear on the blog, and most importantly, if you want information about a particular data set, there will be an entry on that. So for example, here's the Presque Isle Bay 1992 to 2005 data set. This contains important information such as papers that have used the data set as a data source, what type of information was collected, and where the collection sites were. And for some of the data sets, there's detailed information that, for example, if you don't know exactly where Elk Creek is, you can click on the Elk Creek link and a Google map will appear showing you where Elk Creek is. And so again, that's at the blog at blog.bullheadtumordatabase.com. Going back to the welcome screen, this is where we log into the database. And so all we ask for is your email address, and we ask it for it twice just to make sure that it's typed in correctly. So I'm going to log in with my mar36@psu.edu email address, and there's a couple options that you have here. You can update your registration if you've already logged in. You can log on to the sediment database, or what we're going to do right now is go to the query builder. Now, I haven't used this email address before, and so it takes you to the registration screen. Now, we ask for some information like where you work, your email address, which you already have, name, etc., just so we can keep track to see of who's using the database. This is completely optional. Notice you can skip the registration if you want, but we're just doing this to collect information to see who is actually using the database. Since this is an example presentation, I'm going to skip the registration, which takes us to the basic query builder page. Again, you can see the About button that's available on most of the pages. You can also go to the Advanced Query Builder, which we'll have a screencast of later. The first thing you need to do is you need to select the data set to be used. Notice when you hover over the data set, you will see in what locations the fish were sampled in, so this might help you narrow down your choices. I'm going to choose the Presque Isle Bay data set. For every search, there is some basic demographic information that's returned. So we'll get length and weight and gender and age if those things are available. But we also might want to get the capture data, which gives you more information about how the fish was captured. The gross observation data, which includes all the visual observations that were done at the time of capture. And also the histology data. This would be the lab work, whatever we have available here. This is where we have entries for the how many liver neoplasms and how many skin neoplasms or tumors we have on the fish. So if you want the histology data, you want to click that particular selection. In step 3, you can narrow down your data set. So for example, let's say I want to have only those fish for which gender was determined, and I want the fish that are greater than 250 millimeters in length. Again, you can change these queries any way you want. You could specify years, etc. And then if you click on the horizontal bar, it'll eliminate that particular query. When you're done and you want to see your results, you can click on View Query Results, and it will pop up in this little screen. Now, Initially, the data is in this particular screen format. You could, in theory, copy and paste this, but there are better ways to get at the data. One is you could email it to yourself using the email address that you registered with the database. The other way, and probably the more preferred way, is you can view it in a spreadsheet. The data comes in what's called a .csv file for comma separated values, and it will open up in any spreadsheet and be able to be imported into most databases such as Microsoft Access. So this is an excellent way to get the data and to make it portable. So if you click on View in Spreadsheet, it will download it to your PC. Notice this query returned 911 fish, and so we can open this up. I'm going to open it up in a program called LibreOffice, which is an open source Office suite, and now you can see the data in a much more readable format, okay, including the data that we want, gender, total length, weight, what the aging technique was, etc. And then eventually you'll be able to go on and see the other information that we have for the individual fish. Okay, we've taken great care to make sure that a 0 means that it was looked for and nothing was found, versus a blank means that it was not looked for. So you can use that information to determine how many fish were examined versus how many fish were examined for other things. And not all the data sets are consistent, so some data sets searched for some things, other data sets didn't search for other things, so blank would indicate that that was not searched for. If you don't like the results of your query, or you want to narrow it down a little bit more, you can return to the query builder, okay, and it will take you back to the query page, and as soon as it loads up, you should be able to see your old query, and you can make adjustments to it. Right now, having a little bit of an internet connection problem. There we go. And so you can see. Now you got to make sure that it selects the correct. Make sure you have the correct data set to be used. But again, now you can modify the search again. Maybe I just want to make sure I only have the brown bullhead. And that's a brief introduction to the basic query builder on the Bullhead Tumor database. If you have any questions, you can email me at mar36@psu.edu. Thank you.